and then we'll get into it fully. Welcome, YouTube. We are just getting started with a little Amazon FBA Q&A. We got the TikTok live here. Also just getting started, rocking and rolling. Nice, yes, sir. Also, TikTok, let's do this. If we get to 3K likes and 10 shares, I will show live Amazon sales for the day. If we get to 30 shares and 5K likes, we can do some kind of like product research, or I'll let you guys pick. Product research, keyword research, live differentiation. One of those two things. Iman, good to see you in the YT chat. But for the TikTok peeps, I just posted some gem videos on the page today. If you haven't already seen them, last video, I break down selling on Amazon versus Shopify, which is better and why. I'll get that's a question I'll get pretty often. Oh, should I do Amazon or Shopify? Should I do Amazon or TikTok Shop? Should I do this or that? So I break down what my true feelings about that question are in that video. And then second to last video is probably my biggest pet peeve for anybody who's trying to start a business, Amazon, or whatever that may be. And that is stop overthinking you selling on Amazon. I think everybody should go watch that video. It's an absolute gem. But in that video, I talk about how I didn't even know that you had to run. Let me get into that. But I didn't even know that you had to run Amazon PPC ads until 1 week into me actually launching my product on Amazon. I only say that because you have so many people who are like, but what about my ads that I need to run on Amazon? And it's like, have you even launched a product? No, I haven't even found a product yet, but I just want to know about the ads. A lot of people have business backwards, and that's usually not what yields the results. Is search volume / sales being affected due to Amazon boycott? No. What do you mean thoughts on him, Hersha? Like thoughts regarding what? I think his content is cool. I don't think I would ever stick to his full A to Z strategies of Amazon, but I do think that he gives some good, if this is what you're referring to even, I do think that he gives some good analytical advice when it comes to Amazon, some technical stuff. But again, I don't think that I agree with his A to Z strategies. I'm getting started. How many units should I start with? I personally start with 100 to 300 units on all of my orders, even at the level that I'm at now. If I'm starting on a brand new product that I'm launching, 100 to 300 units, because I want to get proof of concept on how that product will perform. Let's get it. I just ordered, I don't know, actually, you guys probably don't care about this. I just ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon that's downstairs right now. Some stretching gear and some workout gear that I'm super excited about. Shout out to Amazon. Not only do I love it as a seller, but I love it as a consumer. Makes everything very, 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 very easy. Also, we didn't really talk about this one because I think that I posted it after. Is 3K enough to start with? I think that would be the minimum. User 36, I think that is enough to start with, but it is going to depend on your product, the product that you launch, as well as the quantity of the product that you launch, how well you can negotiate. Hassan, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody in the live vibing, asking questions. Like I said, we are just getting started. It's a little bit of a later live, especially for a Friday night, 10 p.m. for all you East Coasters. How can I start? Step 1, create an Amazon seller account. Step 2, get a product research software, find a product to sell. I also want to throw this out there because this is just something that I have been emphasizing a lot recently. If there's anybody in here who says that, I'm interested in starting how to sell on Amazon, and then tomorrow you don't take step one to start selling on Amazon, do you actually want to start? Again, watch my second to last video on TikTok. I almost want to play it just so YouTube can hear it too. Aman, I think you're in the YT chat. Can you let me know if you can hear this video on YT? Actually, I can screen share. How about I do that? Yeah. I just think it's worth it. I'm going to take away from my views on TikTok because I would rather you all go watch it on TikTok. And I'm going to play. Is it a long video?
I didn't even know that you had to run Amazon
seconds,
PPC
so
ads until
let's
like
hear it
1
out real
week.
quick, okay?
I didn't even know that you had to run Amazon PPC ads. I didn't even know that you had to run Amazon PPC ads until like 1 week after I launched my product on Amazon. Meanwhile, there's people out there who feel like they need to have every piece of the puzzle figured out before they even start. People obviously see the numbers and success that I've had on Amazon, and they must just assume,
I'm gonna get to everyone's question.
Figured out before you started. Nope, that's not true. Oh, but you had your cousins as mentors, so you must have had it all figured out. Also, no, because remember, it's not like they were teaching me a class. I was just learning as I went, and simultaneously, they were operating their own business. You're going to figure it out as you go. You're going to learn as you go. But the thing is, you just got to.
All right, I just wanted to play that. I'm going to get to everybody's question, and then I'm going to touch back up on that. I'm going to touch back up on that point. For lab tests for children games, does it count if it's a general lab test from a manufacturer? As long as it's the proper test cookie, then you're good to go. If it's that CPC test that Amazon is requiring, then you are good to go. I can hear well. Nice, Aman. I appreciate you. Also, Aman, in the YT chat, I would appreciate you dropping a like in there because it really does help out a lot. How can I get a product research software? Look one up. Helium 10, Jungle Scout, those are the top two I would use. Hey, props to you, Chef. So mad respect. That little rant that I just went on wasn't directed towards you, so I hope you don't think that. But I love that Chef asked, how do I start? And I told him, step one, create an Amazon account. I have an Amazon seller account, but need the Amazon product research. Bro, you have started step one. You have gotten further than most people get when they want to start, because everyone's like, I want to start selling on Amazon, and they're sitting there trying to figure out step 9, step 11, step 15, step 20 before actually taking action on step 1. So now you're on step 2, my friend. Step 2, get a product research software, find a product to sell. I have a lot of videos on this on my YT page at Luke Basha, and even on my TikTok page as well. Whew, I feel myself getting sick, son. Hopefully I can beat this. I'm out of breath talking. For example, I changed the color. What do you mean? Change the color for what? Appreciate the gifts, y'all. No need to gift. I've never taken a penny out of TikTok. So, yeah, really just helps out the algorithm more than anything. I have same question. Tariffs, effects. I don't. I guess I'll continue to go down this rant because there's a lot of you who have never listened to my content and stuff before. I'll make it quick. The tariffs that Trump is talking about, there's two sides of it. A, Trump rhetoric. The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump, the OG book. Essentially, you being here, I'm going to put 25% tariffs, but really landing here as a different negotiation tactic. I'm going to ban TikTok. Okay, I'll settle on us owning 50%. We'll see how that plays out. That's a whole other topic. So part of it is maybe just rhetoric. Like him, don't like him. This isn't political. This is just speaking about the question, right? And then you have the fact that Donald Trump was our president for a little over 4 years ago, right? He implemented tariffs on China. Did those tariffs cause an effect to Amazon FBA sellers? No, not necessarily. Not only that, Joe Biden, who was just our president, kept those tariffs and increased those tariffs. Did it affect Amazon sellers? No, not to the degree that some of you may be thinking. There's so many different aspects to it. I'll just leave it at the quick version. That doesn't mean that what I just said equals facts. Okay, let's use one more scenario. there are 25% tariffs implemented. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to increase my price. And then every other seller who got hit with the same tariff at scale will also probably increase their price. It's like back in 2020 when shipping containers went from $5,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 during everyone knows what was going on in 2020. I don't have to say it. When that was all going on, you just adjusted your price accordingly. Nice. You were so honest. I appreciate you. Flower Power, thank you so much for the following. Let's go. How can I do Amazon again? My account got deactivated. Try reactivating your account. What was the name of the product research software again? Either Helium 10, that's the one that I use, or Jungle Scout. How much should I spend on a photographer for my product? Bro, let me show you guys something. I want to show YT something right now too. Let me go to Amazon. You guys will actually, if I'm in my right account, you guys will actually see the purchase photo box. I'm going to show you guys. This is not endorsed. This is not sponsored. So I hope nobody takes it as that. Okay, I'm on a different Amazon account, but nonetheless, I'm going to show you guys YT. Let me share my screen really quickly. So there's two ways to go about it. You can send your product directly to a photographer, right? But I actually think that if you didn't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on photography, let's say you were launching 2 products. If you were going to launch 2 products, this becomes worth it. So you want to get something that's good quality, but there's something like these photo boxes on Amazon. And like, for example, this is the one that we have, 32 by 32 inches. We can fit most products in here. Obviously, like bigger products, you can't. The lighting is very good. The background is very clean. And you can take pictures. Like I have the iPhone 15, one of my business partners for the brand that I bought this for. He has the iPhone 16. I brought my professional camera. This is a retail, like a $3,000 to $5,000, more like $4,000 camera setup. I took this camera and we chose to use the iPhone because the pictures were just on point there. So you can use something like this. This one's obviously up there. This is not endorsed or anything. You guys don't want to get the really cheap ones because the problem with the really cheap ones is they only have that one little ring light around that. And honestly, your product looks darker in the photo box than it would without a photo box. So just find something that has multiple lights. You can use this, you can keep it forever. Find something that's foldable. That way you're able to, constantly use it. I'm telling you, I have an expensive camera setup, a saw lens, everything. So it's like, imagine I send that over to a photographer. They have the same kind of setup. The pictures that we took on the iPhone were better, and we had a good photo box. And then from there, you send it over to graphic designers. Like and share. I appreciate you. Yes, y'all liking the live, sharing the live. It really helps out a lot. Also, TikTok, if we get to, I said 3K, I'm going to drop it down to 2K. If we get to 2K likes and 10 shares on live before I hop off, I'll show live Amazon sales for the day. If we get to 5K likes and 30 shares, I will do live product research on Amazon for you guys on TikTok. Man, do I need any approvals for children toys? Yes, you need a CPC test. It's very easy to get. Your manufacturer will likely have it. And Chovy, thank you so much for sharing the live. How long did it take you to become profitable? I was profitable right away, but I didn't distribute those profits until about a year into my business. I think it depends on the product itself. Some subcategories require it. Well, that's what I remember him saying, not sure. Yes, you are correct, Iron. For baby products and toys, for kids under the age of 12, you do need it. Hey, my guy, Isa, what up, brother? Good to see you. What happens if you pick a bad product? Are you just taking a loss? There's not a one size fits all answer for this, but in a lot of cases, if you pick a good product with good market numbers and you stick to all the fundamentals, right? Like you don't just go launch phone chargers, an absolute garbage product. A lot of the times when I've had failed products, let's say I invested $3,000 into the product, I don't lose 3,000. I might lose 1,000. I might lose a few hundred. Very rarely has it been a complete and total loss. Sometimes you're able to recover back some of the money. Sometimes you're able to break even and just decide to discontinue the product. But again, there is not a one size fits all answer. Do you have to get ungated in every category? Not for private label. Can you tell me any tiles for improving my website? I don't audit people's sites on live except for I don't audit anything for people except for my mentorship students, bro. User 61, thank you so much for the follow. What niches do you recommend? My favorite are, I just made a video on TikTok about this recently. If you guys haven't already, checked that out. But home and kitchen, office products, health and household, toys and games, baby products, pet supplies, sports and outdoors are some of my favorites. Kitchen and dining. What's the best repricer you know about? I don't have to reprice my products, bro. I've stuck with the same price for my products for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So perks of doing private label. When you start getting sales, how long does it take for them to give you the money? In the beginning, a lot longer than you would want. There's something called the account level reserve with Amazon. And this is where Amazon, for every seller, is going to hold an X amount of your funds until the next pay period. I can explain you guys the boring details as to why they do this, but it's essentially just to account for things like advertising, returns, and all of that. So you're going to be delayed in the payments that you make. So if you make $2,000 the first week of January, the second week of January, you're not going to get paid out that $2,000. Maybe you get paid out 1,000, and then they're going to hold another 1,000 for another 2 weeks or so. Is there any way to avoid taxes? Not to avoid taxes. There's two things in life that you can't avoid: the end of the road and taxes. That being said, there are things that you can do to lower your tax bill. So I'm not a CPA. You guys should not take any tax advice from anybody on the internet. Like, for example, this guy in my live who's trying to give tax advice. I'm actually just going to mute that. You guys should not take tax advice from anybody on the internet unless they are a certified financial advisor, a CPA, okay? Somebody who is licensed to do your taxes. You shouldn't listen to, like, there's business owners, like for me, for example, who I can give you some basic fundamentals on, like, okay, yeah, we write off this and we write off that. We do this to bring down the tax bill. But again, I'm not a CPA. Go speak to your CPA about that. The biggest scam on the internet to me is kind of like that dude who was just in the live trying to say a bunch of nonsense about, oh, I paid, $0 in taxes, boom, 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 go do this, go do that, go buy this, go buy that. I'm not saying that there's people who don't avoid their taxes, right? Like, or because significantly lower their tax bill. Listen to a CPA. So that's going to be my biggest advice in terms of taxes. I actually just made a video, two videos today that are in my TikTok drafts. One talking about how it's very silly to fear business because of taxes, because A, you're not filing your own taxes. B, if you have a good CPA, then they're going to help you save money. And C, if you pay more money in taxes, that means that you made more money. And then the other video is talking about how one of the most important hires that you can make for your business is a good CPA. Alula, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Where do you get products from? Majority from overseas, like Alibaba. Nuran, thank you so much for the follow. Do you go for original products or existing? I'm not an inventor. I'm not in the business of inventing. I take existing products like this water bottle that are already selling on Amazon, but I find ways to stand out and differentiate these products from the competition so that I actually add value into the market. Also, that's not a product market that I would go launch. That's very overly established. What's the best way to source a product? Alibaba. Mel, thank you so much for the follow. Do you do digital marketing, like online ads? Yes. Are you open to a collab? Probably not. I don't if you're talking about like a business collab, I don't do any types of partnerships or anything like that. I answered that. How much investment do you reckon for starting Amazon private label, mate? I'd say minimum 3K. If it was me, I would want to have 3.5 to 4K, but that's for everything. Cost of goods, shipping, if you're going to go the LLC route, potentially your images, and then even potentially getting some reviews, your samples, all that good stuff. Are you based in Canada or the US? USA. What do sellers usually write off with Amazon FBA? So again, I will share some things, but even if I'm sharing, by the way, no, guys, please don't spam in the chat. I'm going to see everybody's comments. Spamming doesn't get your comment answered any quicker. But again, I'm going to say some things. You guys should still go talk to a CPA. Don't be like, oh, Luke said this, so this is what I can do and blah, 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 right? Speak to a CPA. Even if what I'm saying is fact, speak to a CPA. Just get in that mindset. Your cost of goods is a write-off. Your shipping cost is a write-off. Your samples are a write-off. Your FBA fees are a write-off. Your ad spend is a write-off. Any education towards the business. So like, for example, my mentorship students who purchased my program, that's considered a write-off to your business. And see, this is where like things past that I don't even want to talk about, because there's things like rent and car and certain things, but you can't just go buy a car and write it off. It doesn't work like that. Like if you lease a car and you're using that car for business, so there's a lot of aspects that a CPA would better be able to explain for you. So, and yeah, that's another reason why I just, don't get me wrong, I despise tax time every year. It's my least favorite time. But even then, it doesn't, like, I saw a funny video comparing business owners to like a regular employee during tax time. And it's funny because like I'm going through it with like the people around me. Everyone's like, yeah, I just filed my taxes. I'm going to get this much back. I'm going to get this much back. Luke, how much are you going to get back? I'm like, get back? Oh, if only we got back. But of course, we play a different game. I would choose being 1099 over W-2 any day of the week. Hi, newbie Amazon seller here. I sent my first order today. Let's go, Raylene. God bless. And wishing you Godspeed. Do you think if you finance a car, do you think if you have to finance a car, you can't afford it? Yes. Like, for example, I lease my cars, but that's for tax purposes. I could go buy my cars outright. Then again, I'm not buying like supercars or anything, but I also could buy out a supercar outright. I don't believe, this is the thing with the internet that I think is a little twisted. You'll have people go into debt to go buy that Lamborghini, that BMW or that Mercedes or this or that, and they don't actually have the money to go buy the car, but then they buy the car and they spend the money, and then they're in this weird financial position because they want to keep up with the Kardashians, or they want to be able to post their Corvette or their BMW on social media, or they want to pick up girls with their car and this or that. instead of like, yeah. So I don't believe in that. I don't think there's two aspects, because there's cash flow and then there's savings. Like, let's say you were cash flowing $10,000 a month, and then your car was $1,000 a month, but you didn't necessarily have the money to go outright buy the car. And there's also different people who are going to have different perspectives. But if your cash flow was good, then maybe you could argue as a reason for it. But I just don't. I don't ever see a car being a good financial decision. There's people who say, oh, but I network with it and this and that. Well, what about me? I don't have a car, and I still am able to get into the door and into the rooms with the millionaires and the successful entrepreneurs who are at higher levels than I am. So is it the car that does that, or is it the person? And then, like, I would even argue that if the car didn't directly help you increase your revenue. So, for example, I know somebody who they make more money than majority of the people that y'all see online. They make more money than anybody that I know online. All the youngsters, these are older heads. They're like, 50, 60. They could go and buy all the supercars 5 times over, but them buying a car, because of the type of business that they have a B2B business, it's not going to increase the level of their business. But even someone like me, and I'm very transparent about this stuff, if I were to go get a car, like, let's say that I went and got a Ferrari tomorrow. Well, what are the chances that if I get a Ferrari tomorrow that I'm not going to get hundreds of thousands of views on that car content that I make? And with those hundreds of thousands of views will come thousands or tens of thousands of followers. And with those tens of thousands of followers, I'd probably sell more courses. So something like that, you could maybe justify it. Even then, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, just it doesn't make sense. And yeah, but Issa, bro, I agree. $1,000 car payment does not make sense if you're making 10K a month. I was just using random numbers, I guess. I don't agree with the whole car thing, unless you're like, that's your passion. Like, my passion is traveling. Some people probably couldn't justify spending the money that I do yearly on trips, but like, if I'm gone tomorrow, like, that's just what would have made me happy in life. Maybe a car does that for you. I would still argue that building a solid base before getting a car would be a better decision. Where do you buy your product? Alibaba. What if too much people are doing the same product? Can't it get saturated? I don't believe in things getting saturated. I believe in things getting too established, but saturated is not a thing. Saturated is an excuse for people who are scared to break into a market. If anybody would, like, 2 of the biggest investments in Shark Tank history, that's one of my favorite shows, so I reference it sometimes. But 2 of the biggest investments in Shark Tank history are in industries where every single person who gives business advice, guru, including myself probably, would say no. Well, I wouldn't say this, but some would say it's saturated. I would say that it's too established, or that I wouldn't go into those markets. Sponges and socks. Bomba, let's actually look up really quick. Bomba socks revenue. Let's do 2023. Okay, so Bomba socks, they sell socks. You go into anybody's Amazon live, including myself. I would not tell you to go launch socks. They would tell you socks is saturated. Bomba socks, which launched in 2013, did $1.3 billion in retail sales with socks. Scrub Daddy, sponges. You would think sponges is too saturated. Why would you get into that market? Let's look up Scrub Daddy. Scrub Daddy revenue. Let's do 2023. 2023 was 220 million. 2024 was 340 million in a saturated market. But those companies found a way to stand out, differentiate those products from the competition, add value into the market. Again, that's a little bit more of the extreme side. I still wouldn't go into those industries. The point is, there's no such thing as saturated. If you add enough value, for example, do you know how many people made Amazon content? When I first started making Amazon content, you could say it's saturated, but I'm me. I'm Luke Basha. There's no other Luke Basha out there. The content that I make is unique to me. The way that I teach is unique to me. And there's a reason why people come and they listen or they seek out my content. You can say, but Luke, the Amazon space was already saturated. Why would you, the teaching Amazon space was saturated. Why would you think that people are going to go listen to your content? Because I am different from the rest of the market. I add value from the rest of the market. And if you're able to do that on the product side, then you're able to be successful. Now, I still fall within a certain product criteria, things like average reviews, average price, but Raleen, thank you so much for the follow. How much money you need for launching 4 products at once in private label? Well, I would say $3K minimum for each product, 3 times 4, 12K. I wouldn't launch 4K or 4 products at once though. You're going to make mistakes on the one product that you're going to learn from the second product. And so Lucy, thank you so much for the follow. Dolce, thank you for sharing the live. My mother's dream is a baby store. That's why I'm here. Any thoughts on baby products? I am a big fan, Isa. And, a baby store, physical location in 2024, I still think it'd be interesting, or instead of spending the capital on rent and electricity and all these things, you create a digital baby store. If you can find good baby products and you find a way to stand out and differentiate from the competition, it's GG's in my opinion. Again, there's no guarantee. The point is find a good product, differentiate it well, market it well. But baby is an amazing category on Amazon. There's no shortage of people having babies. Most baby products are very giftable, which means that they have very strong Q4s and they'll be likely strong throughout the rest of the year too. And like I said, there's no shortage of babies. There's, what is it, like 400,000, maybe 300,000 people born every single day in the world. So you have new people coming into your market daily, actually. Millions of people coming into your market weekly. Do you sell in Canada? Well, I guess they're not buying the products, but you get what I'm saying. Do you sell in Canada or US? Mainly US, but we have some products in Canada as well. US is the #1 biggest market on Amazon. Let's say I make $12 million a year and get a car that's worth $2 million, finance it. You think I can afford it? Yes, I do. But yeah, I do. I think so. 12 mil a year. I mean, that's still pretty nuts to spend. What is that? I guess it's like 15%-ish of your income. I guess you could afford it. Not something that I would do, but I'm also not a car person, so I just can't justify spending $2 million on a car. So it's based off if people buy your products and how do people find them? Well, it's not just based on if people buy your products. Why would somebody buy your product? You have to stand out. You have to differentiate. You have to add value into the market. You have to have a good listing. You have to market the product correctly. And no, Amazon's not just going to put the product. Well, they do put the product out on their platform, but they're not going to put it front and center on page 1. You have to market that product correctly. Search engine optimization, Amazon PPC ads, and that is the equation that is the winning formula to a winning product on Amazon. What product are you selling? I don't share my exact products that I sell for, I would hope, obvious reasons, but I sell in all different types of categories: office products, baby products, toys and games, pet supplies. Let's get it, everybody. Also, we didn't hit our goal, the like and share goals, or else I would show live Amazon sales for the day. If y'all have more questions, drop them down below. If not, then we will probably cut the live there. because we've been live for a decent amount of time already. How long an item lasts on Amazon? It could last forever. This account's 4 years old and seen growth year over year. My cousins who have been selling on Amazon for 7 years have had the same products for that amount of time and had growth year over year. Do you have a training? I do. For those of you guys who like the lives, like the videos, and want a more in-depth guide on how to sell on Amazon, I do have the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the TikTok bio. How much money did you start out with or need to start? I started out with $4,900 USD. I would say the minimum is $3K. Don't they charge for certain days? They charge you for storing your products, yes, but that doesn't correlate with the first thing that you just asked. If how long a product lasts. A product, again, can last forever, whether they charge you or they don't charge you. The fees are a built-in thing that are a known built-in thing to Amazon's business structure. So yes, they charge you a fee. Next question, right? That's almost, it's not that it's a non-factor because you have to account for this. You have to calculate your FBA fees, make sure that you're profitable, but anybody who's starting Amazon should know that. So again, that's like now wallpaper to the equation and has nothing to do with whether a product can be successful or not. Can a product plateau when scaling? Yes, we've plateaued. We've plateaued on this account. You guys see up 28% in the last year. There's been months where it's like, okay, we're figuring it out. You're ranked really well. Your ad campaigns are performing really well. And you're like, well, how do we scale from here? And so having to figure out new targets, new strategies, add new campaigns, test new things. And then that's also when like incremental changes. This is 9 SKUs, Dub, but this is just one of 4 accounts. But that's when like incremental changes can really make a big difference. If I'm at a 28% conversion rate and then I increase my conversion on my product to 32%, that 4% conversion can be the difference between thousands or tens of thousands of dollars in sales. So, and then same thing with like my click-through rate. If I have a good conversion, but then my click-through rate is only 0.5 and then I double my click-through rate, well, that means I'm going to get double the amount of clicks at the same conversion that I have, which is going to lead to more sales. So there are incremental things that you can do at that point to start scaling, especially if you're like ranked on a lot of your keyword. But I still think that there's always new things that you can add to your strategy to launch. And for a lot of products, like the markets actually get more traction over years. Like what's your typical ROAS? Anywhere from like 2 to 4. It depends on the campaign. I don't base things on ROAS just because if I had a target ROAS across the board, it wouldn't work because I have rank campaigns where I'm not returning as much, but those campaigns are geared towards me getting to top of search with my ads, which may help me increase my organic rank more. So it's not directly helping my PPC stats, but it's directly helping my profitability in my sales on Amazon. So I like to be at a target of a 15% TACOS, which stands for total advertising cost of sale, which is your ad spend divided by your ad or your total sales. Is it better to buy 1 or 2 products at the start, maybe more? Nope, 1. You start with 1 because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn things from that 1 product that you're going to carry on to your second. If you launch 2 products at the same time, that's almost like 1 launch. And all the things that you learn from those 2 products, you'll carry on to your 3rd launch rather than being able to carry it on to your 2nd launch. I always recommend starting with 1, especially if you guys have no Amazon private label experience already. Start with 1, learn the game, scale up, and go from there. But on that note, everybody, if you guys like the lives, you guys like the videos, and you want a more in-depth guide on how to sell on Amazon, be sure to check out the AMZ Masterclass Mentorship Program in the TikTok bio. For anybody who wants that more in-depth guide, me as a mentor, and a full Amazon ecosystem, in the TikTok bio, it's free to apply. Not everybody qualifies for the program, but if you do qualify, you'll be prompted to book a call with my team. On that note, everybody, my man back at it. Yes, sir. Took a little break this week. Omar, I was out in Vegas for a few days, but we are back, son. Jackal, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate you. But y'all, I am going to sign off today. We will be back tomorrow, God willing, for another Amazon FBA Q&A. I go live every day on TikTok and YT, so make sure you guys turn on notifications. Go show some love to my last couple videos, and I will see y'all soon. Oops, I ended the TikTok live too early, but YT, YouTube, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for anyone who watches live. Thank you for anybody who watches the replays of the lives. Make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe because I am on the journey to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube this year. So let's get it. I appreciate y'all. God bless, and I will see you soon.